Hello everyone, Aerophite here, and welcome to Playing with Command Blocks. And today I'm going to show you how to make structures with flying blocks, which I know it sounds kind of strange, but it's a pretty cool little effect to see. So, before I continue the tutorial, I'd like to mention two instances where you can sort of see examples of this. The first one I did was actually another tutorial video called Summoning with Motion, I believe, and in that I kind of go an in-depth look into the actual motion tag portion of data tags. So that one's probably pretty good to look at, because for this tutorial I'm not going to so much as look at how that tag works, but how I got a certain effect to work, right? And now on to the video where I show this effect. If you look at one of my really recent videos, it would be the Accidental Let's Play, or ALP, episode 1. You only have to watch like the first 2 minutes if Let's Plays isn't your thing, but basically I made a thing to where when Jake the Cool One and I walked into a certain area, it built this portal. Like blocks flew around the room and stuff. It was really cool. So check that out. You know, that's where this tutorial idea comes from. I had a request from it from that video. Okay, so without further ado, let's kind of look at what's going on here. Okay, so first things first. This is the motion command. All right. Oops, I just did that twice. Give me a second. This is the motion command, and if I do it now, you'll see the object was summoned and flew that way, which was not what I intended, but that's fine. It flew that way. Let's now make it throw the other way, the way that I did want it to go, and should land on that block. Okay, so it landed on that stone block that's over there, and basically the hardest part about these commands right here is that you have to really mess around with positioning and stuff. So let's take a look at the command real fast. You've summoned, we're going to be summoning falling sand, and that's the reason why the item can actually move, because you know normally the like oak planks and stuff like that don't fall, you know, they float in the air or whatever. So really what's happened is we've taken the fallen sand entity and we've retextured it to look like oak wood planks. But something to note is that once these blocks hit the ground, they actually do become that retextured block. So in the air they're sand, but once they hit the ground they're whatever block you retextured it to. Okay, so these are the three positions. You know, X, Y, and Z, or Z, whichever one you want to think about it as. And it is basically from my current location at the moment, but you can set specific points, and we'll see an example of that in a minute. This tile ID 5 retextures it to planks, right? And this 0 specifically says that we want oak planks, right? Okay. So then we set the time to 1, and this is necessary because if it's 0 or not set, the sand will despawn immediately and won't do anything. And then here's the actual motion tag itself, which is the important part of this command really, and it's the part that you really have to mess with the most. So briefly, I'm saying that I don't want it to move in the X direction at all. I want it to have a velocity of 1 in the Y direction, that's why it flew so high in the air, and I want it to go in the negative Z direction, 0.5. Okay, a velocity of 0.5, so not 0.5 blocks or whatever, an actual velocity, so a speed, alright? And I don't even know where to begin explaining how those speeds work. Basically, you have to mess with these until the blocks fly where you want them to. Now, the downside to this falling sand method here is that you cannot make the block land on top of air. So it's got to hit a ground, or it's got to hit another block or whatever for it to stop. Okay, so now that I've done that, that's pretty cool, making it fly from that position, landing there and all that good stuff. But we really don't want to always have to type it, so that's where this comes in, which is a player detector, and at the moment it's searching for all players, but really it's going to activate once one player reaches it, right? So it's all players within a radius of 5 of this specific point, which is somewhere like right in here. So as I get closer here, you'll see that these blocks will fly and land, and I know that this block looked like it landed here, but it didn't really. It's a weird visual glitch kind of thing. But you see they went from here and stacked on top of each other, which is pretty cool. Now something to note, those blocks don't actually have to be there. Well, if I get far enough back from my radius. Don't actually have to be there. It will fly without them. The blocks being here is more for visual representation because it's cooler for blocks that are already there to all of a sudden fly somewhere. Alright, okay, so let's see how I accomplish this. Got the player detector, we already explained it. Okay, what I do is I set the block at a current position. So like this one is at this point here, which is that block right there. So we set it to air. So the second it finds a player, it sets that to air. Something to note, since this is a negative value, the point over here isn't really negative 955, it's 954. Whenever you're trying to do exact coordinates on negative numbers right now, you have to do one up or one more negative than the current spot. So this is where I'm setting that block is really at negative 954, 52, 195. Okay. So yeah, so you set it to air, and then from that same point, we do that summon falling sand one, and we mess with the motion to get it to land in a specific spot. Then one tick later, alright, we set the other one to air, ooh, glitch, which is that one to air, and then once again do a summoning, but it's in a different direction even, right, to get stack. And that's the idea. So not too hard, just really time consuming to get them to stack or whatever you're trying to get them to do. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the tutorial. If you want anything more depth, you can ask for it, but I don't know how much more in depth I could get on it, to be honest. So anyway, I hope you liked it. If you did, please let me know. If you didn't, let me know what you didn't like so much about it. And if I truly feel whatever you didn't like is a problem, I will attempt to fix it. Also, feel free to make suggestions as stuff that you want me to make, and I am more than happy to work on them. Okay. Once again, thanks for watching. Later.